The very best reviews. Tell them nothing could test me.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm here with my girl, Kay Leezy. A lot of y'all ain't seen her in a while back for raising Kanan. What's up, girl? How you doing?
Jay, I'm doing good. I'm doing much better. Thank you for having me because you know this is our show.
Definitely. And definitely came back on a good episode, too, because, damn, learn the lesson. When somebody tell you shut up, leave it alone. What's wrong with you?
Leave it alone. Read the room, Jay. Read the room. If you're not reading the room, oh my gosh. You got to read that room.
Man, before your head be all over the room.
All over the room, okay?
For real.
Horrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, gosh, she don't leave you to go. Just leave it alone.
Sometimes people, man, they thinking they on the side of right and justice so much that they ain't realizing that it's a time and place for everything. You know, you may be right and it may be this or that, but you ain't going about it the right way. And that's what got her. And then she thinking she's so smart with a little gun and tape recorder. And sometimes you know, you ain't got time quick enough to get it. You don't know what the next person may be thinking. So, you know.
She wasn't reading the room. He gave her everything she needed. I'm gonna get you your job back. Can't help you with old homegirl, but I'm gonna get you your job back, or it's gonna be well. That's where she should have cued in.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I got my job back. Then I can go back to work and do whatever I'm doing. Once I got my job back, if he can help me. But first, let me tell you about all I know. I was like, it's over. It's over.
Man, that damn girl crazy. Let me get to a couple of the comments. We got B. Halette. What's up, B, in here? Barika.
Hey, B, how you doing?
Yes, sir. Rashonda, what's up, girl? How you doing? Good to see you. Damian Kinney in the building. What's up? Good to have you.
Good thing?
Yes, sir. Athletic Mind. Kelly's back. Hope is lovely. Say, hey, Jay, I was just watching the first response you did 20 hours ago. Yeah.
Oh, good. Good you back.
You right on time for the next one. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, while we waiting on a couple people, I'll touch on another subject right quick that's kind of tied into the 90s. Puff Daddy. What you think going on with him and all these lawsuits and things? Is it a money grab? Is it because you live in New York and now that this law is now available, now all of a sudden some of these things come out, but maybe it's true? I don't know. What's your quick take on some of that?
Well, I think she did the right thing. Yes, it was a money grab, and I believe that in situations like this, if you're gonna get something along the lines of justice, then if you have to settle for the money, because she has a good attorney, but he still is a powerhouse. So had she took it any other route, the possibility of him walking away and her looking like a damn fool would have been greater. You know what I mean?
Right.
But this time, she didn't just sue him. She sued the companies. I think it was 7 companies or corporations affiliated. So she legit went after the money. That was the one thing she knew she could have secured, because there's no way they accepted him as a liability when she didn't just sue him personally. She sued the corporations that he was affiliated with at the same time as an employee. So she didn't just sue him as Cassie, the individual,
right,
suing Sean Combs. Nope, she took it the full legal way, and she knew where the money was. Because to be honest with you, had she done it any other way, he could have got off, and then she'd have been like a fool.
It's just that sometimes people feel like if they really was going through this stuff, maybe you would want somebody to go to prison more than money instead of civil, but I don't know. Maybe that's more difficult to prove or things. I don't know.
It is, because it turns into, but she did have documentation, so it turned into, he say, she say, but it's harder because, you're going against a machine.
It seemed like a lot of the people from the 90s hip hop era, is starting to have some comeback. Aaron Hall is now, and we ain't gonna get too sidetracked, but you know, this 90s rated, this 90s raising Kanan music, you know, it does bring back some stuff. Before I go into the next thing, which I'll tell you is about, speaking of the music, what's up with Lulu and his thoughts. I'll let you, before I get into that, I want to give a shout out to Hope is Lovely for coming through with the super chat. Definitely appreciate you coming through, spreading love. Definitely. So the music with Lulu, he was going through it all episode, really. It seemed like he feel bad about what happened with Crown. He upset that she decides she out, but when I want out, y'all, you owe me this, that, and that. So what's up with Lulu? What you think is going on with him and the future for him this season and all that good stuff? What you think is up with that in this episode too?
Well, remember we seen Lulu crash when he had to kill Kaden's friend. He never fully recovered from that incident in the first place.
So and that was like the second episode, right?
Yeah, it was. I don't remember which episode, but it was early. He been spiraling ever since. So my thing is, we saw this coming from Lulu. Him fully crashing, him having friggin', Merc Crown, and he hate Rock. He hate her guts. You see when he said, he was like, oh, when she's tired, she could say she cutting. But when I said I want to get out, that's a dub. I'm working for her, So she's Rock is a bully. She's a murdering, bully, drug dealing mama. And this is bound to happen because we saw him spiraling out of control. Right. And now look, because so I didn't go and watch the replay. So I'm trying to just go off the dome, but he was the one who was telling her she shouldn't do the thing with the Italians in Jersey, right?
Yeah, so he was saying
the whole thing is tumbling. Right. He was the one when he said he got messed up with Scrappy.
Hey,
he was the one. Right. So yes, Lulu have a right to be losing it right now because we see the chain of events happening over and over and over and over. Hi, Gina.
Hi. Hey, Gina in the building. What's up, sis? So let me ask my girl Gina, what's up with Lulu? I know you saw what's going on. Do you think he may be possibly a adversary to Rock this season? What's your thoughts on Lulu in this episode, Gina?
Not feeling her. He was not feeling her at all. Yeah, I think so. I think he's definitely gonna go against the grain. He's not feeling her.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What about Marvin? So now we see Marvin, he kind of still under the spell of Rock. Because when Lulu was talking to Marvin, he was telling him like Scrappy messed up. I mean, she messed up. Scrappy wasn't no snitch. He like, yeah, well, he was hiding something. He's still trying to justify some of her moves and stuff. Do you think Marvin may wake up and maybe be done with Rock, or do you think he may have a problem? Do they know Unique and Rock working together? I don't know. What you think on that? I know you got that good memory.
I don't think that Marvin is gonna stray away from her. Like Marvin is Team Rock. Like Lulu was telling him, he was so in his emotions. Like, look, she didn't have to do that to Scrappy. We didn't want her to do it. She chose to do it. She didn't even need to. And he was like, but he was lying. So he's justifying her moves. He's definitely going to be Team Rock.
Right. Now, let me ask you this, Kelly. We saw that Jukebox is starting to, try to grow into her own. Now, in the 90s, it didn't, I don't know, you all can both chime in on this, but as young women and, growing up around that time in the 90s, the only opportunities that they had was what? Working at fast food, White Castles and this and that, or the army, the military. That's what they was really trying to do. Like, I mean, what was up with that?
No, that wasn't the only opportunity. However, we did have a lot of, sad to say, racist guidance counselors who did not care about Black children in the community and was steering them in the direction of the most minimalistic opportunities, period. They didn't care. You see when Juke left, she just went on eating her sandwich. She didn't care. She wasn't, right, she wasn't.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
they were a few, because I experienced that myself. You got these guidance counselors that they just didn't care about you no time, in no formal way. They didn't care.
And what happened in your experience, you know, in the short form?
So to be honest with you, at the school I went to, we had a guidance counselor, and she was removed from her position for, I think, the kids that were under her had the biggest failure record or some sort like that. She was just there for the money. She did not care. They weren't. We had a couple Black guidance counselors that we had to go to apart from the white ones. Sad to say, but I mean, they were out there like that. And I'm not saying all, right? However, they were out there. I'm sure if I talk to more people from Brooklyn, they're gonna know.
Okay, Gina, what's
she didn't have any enthusiasm towards her. She just went along her very own way. She wasn't even looking for opportunities.
Right. Gina, we
have Juilliard here, right? Sorry,
yeah.
We have Juilliard here.
Yeah.
She didn't say, okay, fine, we could go to you can go to college, maybe you can put some audition together, we can get you into this. Nothing at all. And we have a lot of the major labels here too. Why don't you get an internship? Maybe you could work your way into nothing.
You got all the major labels there.
Mm-hmm.
Gina, what's your thoughts on Jukebox, and then on how she decided not to go to the mom's funeral, but Marvin went, but then she kind of listened to the music? I mean, what's your thoughts on where she going with that? And some people was wondering how she gonna be a cop. Some people think when she find out Burke is dead, maybe, I don't know. But what's your thoughts on Jukebox for this episode?
So I feel like she didn't go to the funeral, she didn't go to the service because she made peace in the room. She went over the stuff that she left her, and she had a connection. She's musically inclined, so she made her own peace the way that she felt needed. And I thought that was a beautiful moment. That was sweet. Marvin, I noticed it last season as far as him still having the emotional ties to Kenya. But when he was sitting there and he was a bit emotional, he was sniffing the sweater, I was like, oh, he really loved her still. He really had feelings for her still. So him going to the service, I got it. He was making his peace. That's the way he made his peace, and Jude made her peace in the room. And
he got a different kind of connection with her, Kenya, than, as the man and woman relationship versus child and mother, So
but can I say something real quick, Jay?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Out here, in the 90s, they came up with this thing that if you're 16 years old and you don't want to go to school no more, you don't have to. It's free to sign your stuff out, go do whatever you want to do. You can't do it before 16. Before 16, you'll get truancy. But after 16, you could. Some of the white teachers, they would let you know that. They would let you know that, oh, well, when you're 16, if you don't want to do this no more, you can sign yourself out.
Just drop out, basically.
Nobody can tell you that you can't. Nobody can stop you. You can go do whatever you want to do.
Now, I want to ask y'all this one thing that this damn camera, I'm half in here when I do it this way, but one thing I always saw movies and old school movies is in New York, they always had them truancy cops chasing kids and shit. That's real? They really would be chasing kids and stuff for not going to school?
Yes, because it's a crime.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's
school hours, you're supposed to be in school.
I get it.
Sometimes kids will cut. Their parents wouldn't know about it, but the parent will get in trouble.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be in school. You're a minor.
But what I'm tripping on is that it's cops assigned to that. It's that big of a problem. So in Chicago, there was no truancy cops. But like, say if you out and about and you supposed to be in school and you ain't in school, you know, you that age. If the cop just decides to pull you over, then he can write you a ticket or whatever, or take you in home or do whatever. But no, they didn't have like cops patrolling for that reason. You know,
Yeah, out here they went and looked for you. Like if you was outside.
that's crazy. It's just crazy that there's that many kids that ain't in school that they even have to do that as well. That's some old gangs in New York.
You remember Lean on Me when they had the Joe had to put the stuff on the door, the locks on the door because the doors wasn't locked.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, we had that. We used to call our principal, Mr. Sawyer. His name was the Brooklyn Joe Clark because he put them locks on the doors. It wasn't plain either. He did it.
Was that in New York? That was in New York, wasn't it?
No, that was in Jersey. That was in Jersey.
Okay. You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? Yes. Well, jump off the building. Jump off as fast damn it. Yeah, I know, right? Sing the song. Sing. That movie, that's a comedy. All right, what I was going to say is... and Patty, shout out to Patty. She said she got kicked out of stores going during school hours, and yeah, it is true in offices.
They were around the corner from the corner stores waiting for you.
That's crazy. Chasing you with a stick. Come here. Bring your ass back here. You gotta go back to school. You over here in New York. You little bad kids. Anyway.
I remember me and my cousin Jackie to school one day. We didn't get pulled over by a truancy officer, but my uncle caught us outside. He took us back to school. He embarrassed the hell out of us. He embarrassed us. He was like saying stuff to kids in the hall. Oh, put your pants up, tie your sneakers. You can't run if the cops stop. Your pants is down. Like he was just, he embarrassed the mess out of us. And we was like, yeah, we not cutting no more.
Nah, that's funny. That is funny. Now, let me ask y'all this, because I thought this was kind of a good tie-in. And I think they kind of did a good job with this, so I want to get your opinion. I'm going to start it off with you, Gina. So they kind of cleaned up how Iraq was shot and how it's a dead man in her house, and what happened with Crown and how he did. And they tried to tie it into him owing money and all this stuff happening and as we know. And it was actually a pretty good cover-up. I don't see too many holes in it right now. She said she got a dude gun to do this and that, and they tried to clean it up with how Kenya got killed and threw it all basically on Crown. Dead man tells no tales. What do you think about all this, Gina? Is it going to stick or what?
I thought that it was great. I think that it can stick. I don't see too many ways that it could fall. So for now, I'm going to say, like, it was a great plan. My whole thing is that I didn't really think that dude would let Lou talk to her. Like, if it was, like, real.
Wait.
The whole thing just happened, and you going to let him talk to her?
Oh,
they could get
right.
stories together. But I thought that the way that they put it together was good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty clever. Kelly, what you think about the Crown Camacho cover-up?
I agree with it. I think it was suited. When she started talking about, oh, the guy came and I got the gun and I shot him in his back, I was like, perfect. Because I'm like, how's she going to spin around and say now how she shot him in the back? It was perfect. I don't think that if it come back with holes in that story, I'm going to be mad.
Mm-hmm. See, the only thing is, it could be proven, but it would be in more of today's technology forensics. You know what I mean? Because so if they would have had today's technology, then they could have did the blood splatter patterns and tracked it. So they'd have been like, well, it looks like you was shot and sitting over here on the wall, and then this person got shot, but this was still, they could have saw how fresh and this and that. So that's why I think they could get away with it. And then why would they do all of that as well? They don't do that for every case also, in the reality of things. So I think it was good.
This is a big case.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's multiple murders and things going on. So I would say it would be something. Yeah, a big case for the city. Yeah. And so yeah, but her getting shot is no way to prove that she didn't get up and was, is somewhere else when that guy came in and that she picked the other gun. So I think it was pretty solid. Anybody in the comments, if you all think something about that cover up, let me know in the comments. But I think it was pretty good. Patty talking about the truancy a little bit. She said if they knew your parents, they would go to your house. Damn. They got to know. See, that's another thing that I used to see on TV about New York is they would always have cops walking the beat. They really have cops just like walking the neighborhood, just walking around?
What you saw is real, Jay. What you saw is real.
Man, I never saw a cop walking outside of a car, just walking in the neighborhood, just walking around. Never in Chicago.
You know what? Back in the 90s, you gotta understand too, people was walking, they was taking your shit just like that. Like, take off your sneakers, run your shit, right?
Yeah.
They was ripping females' earrings off. You was getting your jewelry taken, you was getting your bag took, you was getting your strings, you would get everything. So they needed that level of protection around. You understand? They needed that balance at the end of the day because it was not easy. You were lucky if you never got robbed.
Right. I mean, in a way, that's some of the best policing because police would get to know the neighborhood, the people, and things, and then police wouldn't be scared of people either.
The kids knew them; they knew the kids too.
Right. It would build trust and things, but by police being in cars, they don't interact with people in the neighborhood unless it's a problem. They don't know anybody, and then it can be out of control. But that is crazy that they actually had police walking around in the neighborhood. That's something else. So yeah, man. So we see Kanan pissed all episode because his mama shot. He full of it. Should he have had a little more compassion? I know he young and these little knuckleheads and they little teenage years don't be understanding, but and then he talking about he don't want to be with her and everything, this, that, and the other. But then he gonna be with Goofy Famous and what? Sell weed, and that's how he gonna show her. I'll show you. Anyway.
Yep.
Okay, Leezy, what's your thoughts on Kanan and how he treated his mama after she done got shot, and his thoughts on being the weed man?
Well, that's like a soft spot, right? He was right though. His mother's bad. I like rock, but at the end of the day, he found out that she killed his friend. She went and called the friend mama and said, "Let's go pray together."
That was horrible.
Try to kill my father. The same thing I said with Lulu is the same thing with Kanan. Rock got these experiences with these people building up over and over and over and over again. So Kanan is a snowball at this point. He can't have that compassion towards her anymore as his mother, his protector, because she's violating their relationship. And he said that to her.
Right.
When they went away, it was like, come clean with me. You're still lying. One of my favorite parts is when he said, when she talking, she lying. Because that's his experience with her. So I don't blame him for freaking falling apart. He don't want to have nothing to do with her no more. She made him shoot his father.
Yeah, damn.
With the lies and manipulate. Remember, that's when I said I started not to like rock because I was like, now she manipulating her kid. Right? I was on her team all this time, but then when she started doing it, I was like, oh, hell no. So he's fed up. He don't want to hear her shit no more because he can't discern when she checking for him or when she lying. So he was right to me. I mean, and that's hurtful that a son got to be that way to his mother. But at the end of the day, it's warranted.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point, Gina. What you think, about Kanan and Rock and all of that situation?
I also feel like it was warranted because she did too much. She did way too much. Way too much. It's like, I said that too, like, she doing so much that it's going to be hard to come back from. And she still don't care. She just like, oh, well, I could do this, do that. And at the end of the day, I'm still your mother. Yeah, you are. But, he don't. I have to fall in line. I mean,
You don't own
in a
me.
way, yeah, because he is a child still, but I could see him trying to get away from her. Like, she's no good.
Yeah, sometimes a parent does think that because you're my child, I have ownership over you. And at a certain age, you got to give them their space too. He's in that space where you got to. Plus, as he being a young man, he done got a little cootie cat from somebody as old as her. I know, right? He done got some mature cootie cat. You know what I'm saying? That was some good grapes.
Yeah.
There was some good grapes.
Yeah, I wish that, like, if he turned around and he said, I'm not going to be at home, that he at least went back down to Virginia to go be with the aunt down there so that he could have a fair chance, because living at famous house, like, yeah, you still want to have to hustle. Like, you just want to do it on your own. You just want to do it your own way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So wait, let me ask you a question. Why would he do that? He know that now the only thing that he got to do is he got to hustle to get money to keep his lifestyle up. That's not what he got getting down in Virginia. This is what he knows.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if he
give up that lifestyle.
He wanted a clean break. He just want to be from underneath her thumb. He don't want to go over because she was lying. But how he thought about it in the beginning when he was like, oh, teach me the game.
Mm-hmm.
And she was showing him how to do this, that, and the third. He thought they was going to be on the same type level. Like, oh, I'm right up underneath her. Once he started to see, oh, no, she manipulated me. She's still pulling the shots. I'm not my own person. He want to break away from her so he can do his own thing. But he still want to be in that life.
Right. And I get it. And at the same time, he not being realistic because you still new to this. And, who would get all the answers and everything that soon? So, him coming in saying, teach me this, do this and that. I think she was kind of trying to bring him along slowly, which, I mean, I guess that's good, but still bad. You bringing him along in the dope game. But, he looked at it as betrayal, and as well as Patty say, he lost respect for her, and she done killed his best friend. What do you think about him being able to see something that Lulu couldn't see when he told Lulu, you could have told her no? Like Lulu was breaking down about what he had did, but he like, you could have told her no. Like, why you couldn't tell her no? Which one of y'all want to get in that first?
Me, because Gina, yeah, exactly. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. I love that connection. But when he told Lou that he could have said no, he said to himself, I could have said no too. So they realized you can't tell Rock no. Okay. So at the end of the day, I think that they understood each other, because you could see that Kanan experienced that hurt all over again of losing his friend, knowing that Lulu took him out. You know what I mean? You saw that expression on his face. But when he said he could have said no, he turned it back on himself. I could have said no too. That was the realization that you can't tell Rock no. She's not hearing it. That solidified his disconnect.
Right.
Like Patty said, that solidified the fact that he had no more respect for her. Everything she do is catastrophic in his eyes. Everything she do.
Okay. Gina, what you think about that?
I agree. That was a good moment. I enjoyed that scene because it's both of them. It's both of them. They can understand each other. It was, some clarity, because he knew that she had something to do with it. Like,
she made him shoot his daddy.
And so now he sees he wasn't the only one that was manipulated into doing something like that. Look at Lulu, a grown-ass man. Like, she twisted him up and had him do something that was hard for him. Because you could see clearly he's struggling with it. He couldn't even say, like, she had me put the young boy down. Like, it's still hard for him.
Right.
So he never recovered from that. He never recovered.
But I enjoyed that moment between them.
All right. I got something I want to throw at y'all, and you all tell me what you think. I mentioned it last night. finally, I believe, after all these dang on years, we may have finally met Breeze. And I think it's Ronnie. And I think that's who Breeze is going to be. I kind of broke it down a little bit.
Take a drink for this one, Jay.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I need to take a drink before we go for Burke. I always got to take a drink. A shot for the shots. She got shot. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take a Burkle. I used to call her Burkle. Urkel got canceled. Burkle got canceled.
I was just about to say, what you got, Gina?
Oh, just fruit punch.
I just poured too big of a shot over here, man. I'm going to pass out over here for Burke. Let me say what I was going to say first so I can pass out while y'all talk. So my theory is that he is Breeze. We saw him he used to run stuff. He kind of quiet spoken, got his habits, but he didn't want everybody afraid of. Normally when you're afraid of somebody, you're going to kill them instead of try to, do something else. I don't know. That's my thoughts. He always keep a habit.
So wait. Hold on. Why you think it's Breeze? Because what?
So he was watching the news and he was like steadily focused on that and eating the cereal, but then noticed the blood. Very observant, but steadily focused, very calm. It's some of the things that was mentioned throughout the original Power that, he was known to keep a habit and he was focused and ghost.
Was he known as Psycho?
They really never gave a whole lot of info about Breeze. I know Gina remembers a whole lot more. Gina, let you kick it off for me and Kay Leezy. What's up with that beautiful mind, like Hustle Crow?
I did notice that he was observant, and especially when they were taking the ride. Well, I noticed when he was like, "Oh, you sleep." What happened? And he barely had looked up from the cereal, from the TV. So I was like, "Oh, he caught on to that quick." And then when they were driving around, he was like, "Oh, it's not nobody on the corner." And I did notice that he's observant, but I wanted to know, like, since he's so habit driven and stuff like that, what got him caught up? I wonder what comes into play with that. Because he was gone for 3 years. So what happened? They never elaborated on that, so I want to know about that. As far as him being Breeze, I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not sure.
I think this may be the closest.
Like, he was like the site that was sitting on Jeopardy.
Yeah, and that's how Ghost got him because he knew he'd be watching that show, right? And I think he's probably the closest to any other people we've seen on any other shows, and people been saying all kind of people, maybe Breeze and this, that, and the other. I think, in my opinion, that this is the closest to it. I don't know. Now that you heard,
maybe the closest.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I would be shocked if he was Breeze. I would be very, very shocked if he was Breeze. First of all, he older than Unique, right?
About a few years.
Older than the kids?
We don't know. QJ Smith says, they said Breeze was dumb. I never remember hearing that. What about you all? Did you remember anybody saying that?
No.
Now, Extravagant TBAS. He said he loves TV and his favorite show was Jeopardy. I remember that. And this dude really was into that TV. Like.
So, okay, here's okay.
Blood.
I had mentioned this to Gina earlier. If he pans out to be Breeze, we see right now that he ain't Unique, right?
That's TNG.
Not on the same level no more. Unique ain't trying to hear him. As far as Unique is concerned, shit done changed in the game. You've been gone for 3 years. You don't know how shit is moving right now, right? So that means that they at an impasse, they might go separate ways. If he goes separate ways, then he gonna be looking for a little crew. Kanan and Sean, Famous, is looking to align themselves with somebody. So it could seem like how they could be connected at that point because they both at that point going to be looking for a team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if he were to be Breeze, I could see that's how they may end up getting connected because They went to the weed man. The weed man was like, "That's not gonna work. First of all, Famous is a crackhead, or he a fiend, and I'm not trying to do this. The streets is hot, right?
Right.
So they looking for somebody to align themselves with. Kanan is, he's serious because he got to prove his mother wrong. He could make it, and he not on her team. So they avidly going to be looking for somebody. So maybe
that's away from her and people she connected to.
Right.
And then
he still got that mindset on how he used to run things and how the street work as far as he's concerned. He don't like what his brother's doing.
And let me throw this at you right quick. Let me throw this at you. Did you see the preview for the next episode?
No.
Okay, well on the preview they show like they bust in and Rock and Unique is together like in they draws and they like take Unique away and he like carried away like no and they show him like tied up or something. No, the Tony Danza and the boys. Yeah. So while he's gone, maybe that's Ronnie's perfect chance to step in and start running stuff his way. And now he may need some new soldiers and Kanan looking for work. All right, come here, little ninja. You could work for me.
I could see that working. Am I going to be happy about it? No. But I can see that happening.
It could be just that easy. And then he not technically working for Rock or Unique. He working for him.
My head is spinning. So, okay, hold on. Kanan is 16. He's 16 right now. Maybe 16, 17, going on 17, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they never said how old Breeze is. And I mean, Breeze is about probably what? 10 years older than, Ronnie 10 years older than him. He about what, 26 to 30 maybe? You think he's 30?
And they can change it. That's also, another avenue. They can change it because in the beginning when they first took power, they didn't know they was going to do all of these spinoffs.
That's very true.
They didn't know that show was going to catch,
The very true.
That it did. So when they said certain things, it's just like, with the TV shows. I know back in the day when they used to do pilots, like the Cosby Show, they had 4 kids. They didn't have 5 kids.
Right.
They took the pilot. Denise was the oldest, and then they did it again, and now they added Sandra.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you're right.
It's like, they changed stuff up.
And they didn't know, you talking about Ghost. I mean, of course you know, but they didn't know they would have a season 2. You know what I mean? Of the very first show. So, shoot, you got a great point there. And they kind of, a lot of the stuff that people tie into about Breeze was kind of said in the very first season, which like amazes me how many people have kept this dude around. Man, he's like the greatest character no one's ever seen, and the show never really talked a lot about, but.
And if they get let down, they're gonna be talking trash like they did about old boy Mecca.
Oh man. Yeah. I think this dude could be a great character though if they really develop it right. Ronnie. Yeah, they said the dude that everybody's scared of, this the dude he's scared of. So hey, them quiet types, crazy types, you never know, man.
Psycho.
Hey, for real.
Everybody knew. Everybody had a psycho in their neighborhood or wherever they was from.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that guy. Who was that guy? To not mess with that guy.
Oh yeah.
He's not stable.
There was one dude, man. He was something else, man, and he was cool and all, but when he get quiet, he just starts throwing them haymakers or whatever on your head. Better be cool. It's this one dude we knew, man. He was cool, and then he had like some bad weed or something. I don't know what happened, but he had a mental break. Literally, like he changed, and like he'd be like I don't know what happened to him, man, but he lost it kinda, and he'd be walking around the neighborhood tweaked out or whatever. And but dude still had it a little bit. You don't want to mess with him, but I don't know what happened and how his mind broke like that. But yeah, it was kind of tweaked out. Probably. I'm glad I didn't hit that one. I wasn't around for that one. Let me ask y'all this. Talk about what they hit. What's up with Unique and Rock in the relationship? I love in relationships that verbal you know, communication of that verbal, you know, battle, jousting, mental foreplay. You know, oh yeah, I'm cooking with one hand. Sound like you need a hand on that ass. What's up? What do you think about how they hooked up and him hitting it from the back in the kitchen? He over there making biscuits for dinner. Boop! Them flapjacks. Yuck. It's your kitchen. What's with the yuck? You ain't gonna put it on the kitchen table. It's your kitchen table.
I know that, Jay. That ain't the problem.
So
I don't know if you remember, I was all for it at the end of the season. I was all for it. And then when I saw them together, I could just puke. I was like, this ain't gonna cut it for me. I don't want to see it. It's too much. I hate it. I did not like it whatsoever. I couldn't stomach it.
So what you don't like? What's the problem?
When I saw them, wanted it. I wanted that. I remember when people was talking about, oh no, they're not gonna hook up, but it's not gonna get together. It's da, 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 da. And I was like, no, it's gonna be good. Because I like his lyrics. I like how he coming at her. Boom, bam, bam. As soon as he kicked it, I was like, yuck. And then when she turned around, I was like, what? Listen, everything about that scene, I was telling Gina, I was like, I hate it. Like, I just didn't expect that I would feel this disgusted about it.
Wow.
I did not like it.
Okay.
You cooking with one hand, and then we come inside and we see you scrambling some friggin' eggs. I was so pissed off about that. Like, eggs? What you mean you cooking?
She making eggs for dinner. She ain't got no groceries or furniture.
I hated it, Jay. I did not like to see it. I was like, they could have missed that. They could have missed it.
Now, one thing I will say before I go to Gina is that they age difference. Not that it's that big, but it did kind of. They don't look like the greatest a couple, but they don't look like the worst either. But
I don't mind the age difference. That's what, 10 years, maybe 10.
Probably
7?
Not even that. Yeah, it's probably only like 5 or 6.
The age difference didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. Right before we go to Gina, because I know Gina's gonna take off when I say this. One thing that I did not like is his baby mother told him she was scared of the psycho brother in the other room.
Then he left her with him.
Yes.
And then went to go smash somebody else. Right.
On the friggin' kitchen counter. Disgusting. Maybe that's why I was disgusted, because she said she's scared.
Well, hey, I gotta go ahead and make sure somebody else is not scared no more, okay? Can't protect all the women. Hey, this right here between my legs is the wand of protection, okay? I can only protect one at a time, okay? I'll protect you tomorrow night. I gotta protect this right now. She only got one arm. I gotta protect that real quick.
Disgusting.
Let me go ahead and swing this magic stick. This is called the wand of protection.
Yeah.
Gina, what's your thoughts on him protecting all the ladies?
I don't like it either, and I agree, because I mean, if they would have stuck, well, you know, it was the same day, so I could see, you know, how they didn't start it with like him and the baby mama separated, but like Kelly said, she said she was scared of him, and not only for her, for the baby too. And you just left her there to go and be in Rock's kitchen, giving her a hand. I didn't like it.
He gave her
I
more.
Don't like it at all.
He gave her a hand and a third leg.
I'm not gonna front, because I was one of the people that wanted to see it as well, but I was underwhelmed.
Yuck.
It wasn't like a scene with Symphony. That's all I'm saying.
No, it wasn't. They didn't really get into it that deep. Really, we saw a little bit of her little V.
I didn't like that either. I was like, oh my gosh.
Was
it?
It
don't look right at all. But Gina,
it didn't look bad to me, but
what looked better? Unique and Rock, Symphony and Rock.
Symphony and Rock, definitely.
Savannah said you looking like Janet, Gina.
Huh?
You looking like Janet Jackson up in here, girl, with the lovely flowing hair.
Yes.
Thank you.
But
But from the moment that they started talking, when she went to the bar and she was pissed off behind Tony giving her attitude, and they started talking, they wasn't talking about nothing sexual, but it was like the way that she was looking at him, the way that he was talking to her, was like they had chemistry automatic. So then when they did have their first bedroom scene, it was like instant, like chemistry. It was on and cracking.
I agree with you. I think they always had good chemistry from that very first meeting in the park or whatever. So
Yeah.
I was thinking they should be probably messing around, but no, that scene wasn't that intense as far as a scene. But as far as their relationship, do you think it will last? Do you think Unique really believes Rock is out the game? Would he want her out the game? Gina, what's your thoughts? We did see also on the preview, he was talking to the Italians, and they was like, yeah, he said she out the game. And they say, do you believe it? Then he say, well, what he say? I don't think she believe it, or he say, I think she believe it. Either he said he thinks she believe it, or he thinks she don't believe it. I only saw it once or twice myself, but what's your thoughts on that as far as him out the game, or does he want her out the game? You want to be a power couple? What's your thought on that, Gina? Then
see, I don't know. I don't know if she's out. I think that like she shook up for the moment from getting shot. All of this police around, all of this, she got the strike for her son. I feel like it's a lot right now, so she making that hasty decision like, oh, I'm out. I'm gonna find something else to do. But I don't really think that she not out. Definitely not. She shook up for the moment. I do believe that, but she gonna go back to her natural self, and that's the weeping.
I don't see her being there. I don't know how much money she saved, but unless she paid that house off in full, she's gonna be needing to do something. She should have started another business or something though. Neek okay. Neek XO, yeah, she did say that.
From the corner store anyway.
You ain't gonna leave it, but yeah, yeah. I don't know. She gonna probably, we know she ain't gonna stop. Neek XO said, why did Unique say he had a plan, then went to Rock House? That's what Kelly was talking about. What is he gonna use her for? I think he was just lying to the baby mama about the plan. Yeah, exactly. And
Neek, I had his back in that scene too. He pissed me off.
Why?
He pissed me off because I had his back, because when she was like, Neek, where you going? I was like, girl, he told you last time, don't be asking him no questions. He told you from the beginning, so just hush. Then I'm like, he pulling up at Rock House. Like, you just popping up to her door.
See, you had the loyalty for the wrong one. That's the thing. You was thinking like a good loyal woman. Yeah.
Because you remember, he knew where the crib was in Queens. She moved, so she had to tell him where the freaking crib was.
Well, that ain't what Gina talking about. She talking about she was actually going to be on his side as far as being loyal and when he say stop asking questions, Gina wouldn't have been asking questions. Like, okay, he said don't ask questions and trust him. I'm going to trust my man. I ain't going to ask no questions. But she like felt betrayed when she see, I'm up here being loyal, not asking questions. He going to screw Rock. So that's
disgusting.
Yeah.
Got that girl in the house. She's sitting up there, waited up for you and everything.
Yeah. Oh, and that's a good point also. Is that a different actress? She looks different to me.
That's the same girl.
Okay.
She looked different to me too, Jay.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell is this?
That's what I thought too.
She looked a little bit smaller.
She looked, I don't know, she looked older. Not like she looks like an old person, but the other girl looked like she was in the early 20s or something. This girl looked
in the building, right?
Yeah.
I could have sworn it was the same girl. I'll look it up.
I definitely was like, who the hell is this?
Yeah, she looked like she was almost close to 30 or something in this one.
Damn, Jay.
Oh, but it was so sad to
I wasn't saying it back.
2 kids.
Really? I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, she said Gorel left behind a daughter and a son.
Damn.
Right, the son and the daughter. Right.
Damn, I missed that part. Shout out to hey, Neek XO was asking earlier how you get on the panel. Y'all gotta message me on Instagram. And Neek, you be in Discord. You could have been said so. I don't know, you know. But these my sisters over here, they always, you know, we gonna make it work. So let's see. We talk about, let's see, Miss Jocelyn said Unique brother probably will force himself on Unique's wife. And how is Marvin managing with duct tape on his shot wound? I don't understand that one either, especially in the gut. What about this first part? What about this? Kelly, you had a great reaction when I read it. What about Unique brother forcing himself on Unique wife? He just got out of jail. She all alone in booty shorts, alone with the pheromones in the air.
She ain't gonna be in no booty shorts. She's scared of him. He's crazy. But he don't care. He don't care.
Well,
so I thought that. So we on the same page. I thought that, like, how he gonna leave her alone with the psycho? He's gonna do something to his baby mama because she's scared as hell. She's scared. So that means in my head, I'm like, how can he gonna just leave her like that? This man just came out the penitentiary. He gonna do something to her.
Okay.
And I don't like it. So if that happens, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. He gonna violate her. I don't know if he gonna try to kill her to get back at Unique. I don't know, but something's is fishy about that whole thing. I don't like no part of it.
Okay, Gina, what you think about that?
I would hope that out of respect, he don't seem, I don't know, he don't seem like
not stable
type to me as far as like taking advantage of the woman. I would hope that, like, out of respect for his brother and his nephew, he wouldn't do that to her. I don't want to see that happen. I could see her being scared as far as, like, he's been in prison for 3 years and you got a young child running around. But as far as him, like, taking advantage of her, no, I don't want to see that.
I don't think that was going to happen. And from my experience living with a woman, women be getting just scared if you got another dude around too much and stuff and be nervous and don't want to do it. True. That don't help. I'm not saying. I'm sure that don't help. But I don't think he will take advantage of her with the R word, you know, riggedy her. So, yeah, I don't put anything past anybody. I have been wrong before. So I get it. If that was my lady, I mean, but that's his brother. It's a hard situation.
But no, like, my uncle.
Actually, it ain't that hard. Because he got money, Unique. So he could just got him a crib or bought him or rented him an apartment. He got money.
Right, like,
he gotta get him up out of there. That girl is petrified.
Yeah.
My uncle did not allow men, his brothers, my aunt's brothers, like, they was not allowed in the house if he was not there.
True.
And he had nephews because my mom had the sons, but after a certain age, they could not come over there.
You're right.
He did not play that. And my aunt respected that every step of the way. Like, she didn't have nobody over there. I followed suit with that. Like, no, you cannot be here.
I'm like that right now. If I'm with somebody, don't have nobody in my damn house when I ain't there. Don't have no man in my house. I'm like that right now.
That understandable, you know, that's his brother, but that's not her brother. She can't get comfortable. You see, she stayed up waiting for him. So she didn't even feel comfortable enough to go to sleep. Like, he knows that's not her pattern. Because he turned around and he was shocked, like, you still up? I thought you would have been asleep. He knows that she would have been sleeping or whatever, but it's like, she can't. She uncomfortable.
Exactly. And I don't think she would have let him in the crib if she didn't, because she already know about him, right?
Well, we don't know what he in there for, though.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it could have been just for drug dealing. So, you know, it don't necessarily mean everybody in there for the worst of the things. You know what I mean?
Because Zoo was found out to be a liar, so his stuff didn't stick anyway.
Right.
Yeah, true.
The cop was lying, so Because that's what I wanted to know too. Like, what did they get him on? Like, the way he looks, like, so observant and this, that, and the third. It's like he would have switched his whole shit up once he found out, like, oh, they on to me.
I don't know if he would have switched his shit up. You know why? Because he is, clearly he seemed like a man of pattern. People like that hard to switch up.
You ain't trying to get caught.
But you see, he was like, oh, it wouldn't have been like that. He insinuated, I guess, it wouldn't have been like that. That's why Unique had to tell him, like, shit changed. It changed. The game changed when you was gone. And he was like, well, you know, it wouldn't have been like that, basically, if I was still here.
But he ain't listening. Like, you can't be on the corner. So you'd have got arrested again. So you would have had to change. You know, you'd be in jail for that. You know, so, you know, it's hard sometimes they got to see it for themselves, some people, you know. Now, unfortunately, Burke wasn't one of those people. She ain't see it. Let me ask you this. So we see that she done got blown away. And Howard, what's going to be up with Howard? Did he really get away with it? Did he really cover it up all the way? Is nobody going to see him? And we saw also in the preview for the next episode, Kanan said something like, oh, you think that cop saying that cop off to herself is going to solve everything? So they did have a lot of hints in that preview. Yeah, they had a lot of little hints in that preview. So, Gina, what do you think about the fact that Howard had killed her? Luckily, he found that tape, but did she have another one under the seat? Probably not, but I don't know. What's your thoughts on that? Did he wipe everything off the car, right? Is he gonna get away with it? What's up with that?
I think he's definitely gonna get away with it. I mean, unless the dad is gonna make some noise, like, oh, you know, my daughter wouldn't have killed herself.
Let me ask you this right quick. Do you think when he got in the car, he was gonna shoot her no matter what? Or do you think after she just kept going on and on and on?
I think at first he was trying to reason with her, because when he was talking to Kanan, he even said, Kanan was like, no, she got everything. She know everything. She put everything together and let me know about it. And he was like, no, she think that she know. I feel like in a way, he still had her back. Like, he still was trying to, you know, get her out. Like, she wouldn't have been unscathed, but he was at least going to still try to help her. But she kept on talking, like, you talking about Sam. You talking about him sleeping with Rock when she was a teenager. Like, please, you see the respect that this man get? Like, dudes passing him by, patting him on the shoulder, like, hey, Howard, like, he not letting that go. What? I don't understand her. I just never understood her with this. What did she think was going to happen at the end of the day? Okay, you put all of this together, but you think that this man is really going to let his son go to jail? And you sat there and told him in his face, oh, you know, you dirty because you covered everything up.
Right.
If you think that, why would you tell him to his face? He was covering stuff up. You think he not going to cover you up?
Right.
I just thought she was stupid. She should have shut the hell up.
Mm-hmm.
The girlfriend told you. The dad told you. Like, the captain told you multiple times. Howard told you.
Yeah.
Kanan told you.
Exactly.
Rob told you. Like, you've been told. Bye.
I know, right? Right. Some people think that this may even affect Jukebox a little. Kay Leezy, what's your thoughts on all of this? And is it going to be some ripple effects? Will it be some big ripples?
So I hope it doesn't have any ripple effects. I hope that Howard gets away with it. Like Gina just said, maybe the father might put up some noise. But once she had to go. I said it to last night in the chat. She never read the room.
Mm-mm.
She never read the room. From the moment he said to her, I can get you your job back. I can get you your job back. Boom. Then she should have slowed her roll. She should have relaxed after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. So I didn't think that he went in there to kill her no matter what. I figured that if she had complied, he would have had her under his belt, because that means he got her back her job. So that means
we cool
right now. So I thought that was the tactic. The minute she said, let me tell you what I know, I was like, Lord Jesus, she gone. She just gone. Why?
Right.
Because
that tape recorder in her pocket is what did it. She wanted to say everything and get him to admit to stuff.
But this is what gets her in trouble all the time. She wanted to say everything at the hospital. That's why the chief was like, give me your shit. Just give me everything right now. She wouldn't shut up. She never read the room. My whole thing is, why was she... What motivated her to be that way? I don't understand it, but I was like, I saw Howard building up. His eyebrows turned into freaking W.
Yeah, when she mentioned that Sam stuff, he was like, wow. Now, speaking of that Sam part, let me say, Jamari Riddick say, didn't Howard say the same line after killing Burke that Kanan said after killing Jukebox about, like, you know, you should have shut up or keep your mouth shut?
Exactly. Yes, you talk too much.
Are you thinking that they put that in there to maybe try to show maybe they got it in their blood or something, that when you don't shut up,
I don't know.
I shut you up?
You know what? That was, you made me do it. Burke made him have to do that to her. She wilded out. And he didn't incriminate himself. He didn't incriminate himself because he was like, even if those things were to be accurate, what would they solve?
Right.
Nothing. It wouldn't come together with nothing. So what was your point of doing this? Oh, the cover-up? The cover-up what? When she talked about Sam, I was like, get out of here.
The one thing I do like is that they did bring what we put together as all people in the YouTube community, that he must have had her when she was underage, if Kanan this age and she that age. We kind of put that together. So I like how they kind of, you know, put that back in, like, yeah, that's part of the storyline. We did that on purpose. Now, maybe they did in the beginning or maybe they didn't. I don't know. What they turned into could have been bad casting, turned into great storyline.
Yeah, it was good. The connection came back full circle. And I loved it, even though she was like, that's the least of your, even though it's bad, it's the least of your drama.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
She looked for it.
Now, who said this? Talking and Grubbin said that he didn't wipe his prints off the passenger side. I thought he did.
He did. He pulled his jacket up.
Yeah.
And he pulled his jacket up. He put he wiped out everything.
I thought he did. I don't know what you saw or didn't see, but
he did wipe it down. He took the stuff from her. He put his the thing on the gun, right? He gave it good hand placement. I like to see that. He saw her gun, like, you look what you was trying to do. He took the recorder and he wiped down the door on the inside. He came outside, he wiped down the handle. I was like, he did it the right way.
Jocelyn said that Howard will get away with it because she lost everything, so it looked like a pity suicide. And Kelly, your hair has grown since the last time I saw you. It's very healthy. She used that Kayla Fawn.
Yes.
That hair growing. Both of y'all hair up in here. I'm up here the exact opposite.
Because she looked so disheveled, like she looked so pitiful.
Who?
Burke.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like as the day was going, and he was like, "Give me your badge, give me your gun, like you suspended." Then she was talking to her dad. She was talking to the lawyer. She was talking to the girlfriend. As the time was going, she just looked more and more pitiful.
Yeah, I agree with Miss Jocelyn. I think it is a perfect pity suicide. So, you know.
And remember what she said, Jay? She was like, oh, well, now she said that, oh, my mother had to deal with my father. So she basically insinuated that the father was the handful. That's why the mother was going through whatever she went through. So maybe the father might be problematic. But I hope that that Howard gets away with this. I hope it don't have nothing to do with him.
Now,
the only thing that could come back is if the father, I was talking to Gina about this earlier, if the father says he know his daughter would never do that, and he starts to kick up.
Right. Now, Neek said that Howard came there to kill her from the get-go. and that she was already doomed. Everybody in the comments, if you think Howard came to take her out no matter what, put a H1. And if you think that she actually had a chance and she ruined it, put a H2. I think she had a chance, you
I
know.
think she had a chance.
Yeah.
She had a chance too.
Yeah. It was on the table, you know, because he pulled it out too quick. So it was on the table, but hey, you had that chance. You just kept going and going and going.
I'm still going by what he said to Kanan, like, no, she just thinks that she knows. She don't know everything.
Right.
I think he wanted to know what she knew, how bad it was, you know, her knowing the information, and that's when he made his call.
I think so also.
She was doomed.
Yeah, she ran her mouth too much. She blew it.
Hell, they got her. They should have got Stacey Monk's ass.
I'm dead.
All right, let's see. We got a lot of people H1 talking and grubbing. Damian Kinney said that she will not have residue on her hand and clothes, but they got a test for that. And they probably won't test for that because they look like a pity suicide and everything. Why go through all this extra work unless the dad just keeps doing da 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 da. You know what I mean? But they don't. This is one thing a lot of people don't realize, and this is the truth, man. People are lazy, and it's just a period that people are lazy everywhere. So if they don't have to do all this extra work or all this extra stuff, and they can just do this and go on to the next thing, and it happens all the time in everything. And everything.
I remember the time frame.
Every job. Yeah. And right. In the 90s, they would have had to go through all that testing, send it off to the lab, wait for this, do that, and they can be like, hey, suicide next. And then go on to the rest of their day to the next case. You know, plus she was an asshole, pissed off a lot of people. So it ain't like they're going to be crying over her. So I don't know.
I think that they would think that she did commit suicide. Like, it's believable. Especially, you know, all of the stuff that's transpired. Like, your girlfriend left you. You suspended from your job. This job that she was just so fixated on, finding out who shot this man. And now you have to turn in your badge and gun. So I feel like they would also look at it and be like, oh, she was, you know, she knew she did all of that stuff. She knew she did all of that stuff and she just couldn't take it no more.
Exactly. I agree. All right, ladies. It definitely was good having you back, being back, talking about the show, all that good stuff. We always still hook up a little bit in Discord and stuff, me and Gina all the time and stuff. So good that everybody back and doing good, healthy. And I hope everybody enjoyed the show and the panel with my girls, Gina and Kelly.
Thank you, guys.
Definitely. You all want to say anything before we go? Gina, you want to say anything before we go?
Yes, I want to say happy birthday to my dad.
Happy birthday, Pops.
So it's my old man's birthday, December 1st. Happy birthday, Dad.
Well, happy birthday. Definitely.
And an early heavenly birthday shout out to my cousin Jamal. Happy birthday, Jay. We miss you.
There you go. There go
His
another.
birthday is the 2nd.
All right, no problem. Happy birthday to the fam. Kay Leezy, anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
I just want to say I'm excited about this season.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited. My mic went flying all over my mouth. I'm excited about this season.
I'm not even gonna front. Yes. I watched the last season. I just finished it like Monday or something like that. And so when I put it on and it was showing like the clips from, you know, the previous season, I'm like, okay. When the song started playing, I was like, yes, it's a new episode.
Yeah, man, it was definitely.
So I was so happy to hear the music. Like, oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah, I was
when
glad it's back.
On, I felt it. I felt everything about it. I'm excited. Jay, now you got me thinking about Breeze because I would never think about Breeze. I didn't want to hear his name about it because I'm like, what the hell? But now you got me thinking it could be this cycle. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I'm with you. I was tired of Breeze as well. I didn't even make videos of theories and stuff, always bringing it up. some people always brought it up and this and that, and that's fine. If people want to watch it, go for it. But I wanted to do it. I'd try to do what I think, you know, when I think it, and I just didn't think that, but now I do. So, hey, we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see. And a lot of the things kind of match up, the small things that we do know. So, you know, it'd be interesting to see. Let's see. Nao said, question, do you think they'll question where she got the gun from since the captain made her give hers up? I think back then you could have a gun legally, couldn't you?
What?
So
I mean, so okay, I got confused when Rock said her gun was registered. I'm like, in New York? What? No.
well, she was in Queens, right?
So that's New York.
That's New York.
But so
yeah, but it is something. I found that as some type of. I mean, but you gotta go to like a whole. I don't know if that was going on in the 90s, but I know it's like a whole bunch of stuff that you gotta go through to be able to be registered in New York. But you can't take the gun out the house at no point in time.
And she was
like
in the house.
You could get it registered and you can have it in the house, but it's a lot you have to go through to be able to do that. Like,
see, I know in Chicago.
I was very confused about that part. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, we were kids back then too, so
right.
Teenagers. So what am I gonna know about the legalities of owning the gun?
Plus, as a woman, but I know that in Chicago,
she's a police officer.
Right.
She could get it.
I know in Chicago up until recently you couldn't have a gun, but say if you lived in the suburb of Chicago, so say you lived in, you know, Naperville or Oak Park or whatever, any suburb or something other than inside of the city limits, that's where gun stores were, and you can get guns. You just couldn't own one in the city limits. So like when people be like, well, you can't own a gun in Chicago, but in the suburbs of Chicago, you can. So that's why I was thinking when you say New York, but they consider all 5 boroughs New York City, huh?
Yes.
So you couldn't have it in all 5 boroughs. Oh wow. So
so
if you go in upstate New York, you could go get guns though. Because that's just New York City. It's a city ordinance.
Upstate New York is still New York.
But it's a city ordinance.
I think they only clear like those hunting guns. Like, and it gotta be hunting season.
Yeah, I think.
Like that. Like, you ain't getting no 45.
I think actually you probably
you could get a gun off the street real easy back then, but I don't know about the registering part of it.
Like if you stayed in Rochester, if you stayed in Rochester or Buffalo.
When Mark said to the police that bitch shot the guy, she was like it was registered.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like back then, that's the 90s, so like it wasn't probably as, you know, much that you had to do.
Juan Marley keeps saying most police have backup guns. They just took her police issue. Rock ain't no police. What is he talking about?
No, Burke.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
So we just went on to Rock because she said her gun was registered. But yeah, Burke is police. She could get that off of one of her informants or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be. It's easy for her to get it.
She had a gun between her legs anyway.
Right. and it was easier back then. Everybody in the
well, Burke having the gun is not a bigger thing as Rock having the gun registered. You know, Burke could have took guns every day off of people and kept them. You know what I mean? So it wasn't no body cameras.
Her friend is that she's a business owner too, like right? She owned a beauty shop or something. So you know, maybe that could be like, oh, security. I don't know. But I know now these days, I did look it up, and there's a lot that you have to do though.
Yeah, but you know, we're fighting for that in New York, right? Because we have the right to bear arms.
That's right. Y'all are basically defenseless.
I guess away from us in New York, we're fighting for that now. But you're right; it's a lot you got to go through to get it. But we're fighting for that right in legislation now. I don't know which phase it is in, but I remember they started pumping out information about it that we have a right to bear arms.
Yeah, because you are basically defenseless and at the mercy of criminals, and you got to wait for police to come save you. And they look at it as, well, everything is safer because it ain't no guns or nothing. But criminals are always going to break the law and do whatever. So it ain't like
it's crazy.
Yeah, for real. Chicago just changed that.
They said something about firearms. Like, when you said it the first time, I was like, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. If the criminal has it, but they know that you got it too, it's gonna make them think 2 times because we both are ready and equipped to do what we gotta do.
Right.
So you ain't gonna test me the same way if you know that I got my shit too, you got yours too.
Right. It ain't gonna be that easy. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's not the way it is now where they're equipped and they know that we don't have any protection. It's even now. I'm defending myself.
Right. Yeah.
Especially
Definitely.
these fools that you have these days that's like punks and they not whack. Like they'll click on somebody that's looking defenseless. So
that's why I stay ready for drive-bys.
Yeah. You think it's a chance?
Boom, bam, bam.
It's getting easy. Not getting it easy.
Nah, yeah, you may have to take a lick back with you. So
I'm saying, like,
hope it's worth it.
What's his name from
somebody had told me, I was in the comments on something. It was like, oh, all women should have guns. I'm like, well, I can't have one where I live at. Well, where do you live at? That's preposterous. I'm like, New York. Oh, get nails. I'm like, we can't even have nails.
We can't even have nails.
Like, what? Like, if you go on Walmart or Amazon,
they won't ship it to you.
They will not ship it. You put a New York address, you're not getting it shipped to you.
Jeez.
Wowzers. You can't even have mace. Why not?
It's illegal. It's illegal.
But that ain't nothing. Police spray each other with pepper spray and stuff to train and stuff. Like, you can get sprayed with that and still whoop some ass.
But to have it, it's illegal.
That's whack, because that ain't even that good, actually.
Like, I'll be sitting up there, like, if I get a new little, like, knife or something, I'll be like, oh, like, they check it. Like, is this 4 inches? Because you can't, if it's more than 4 inches here, it's illegal.
They used to do that in Chicago.
If you have it on your pants, you have the clip or whatever, you have to show it.
Wow. It can't be longer than your fingertips, or whatever. Palm. Wow.
Like, my mom got this nice, she got me, like, it's not a set, but it was, like, 2-piece knife set. And it had, like, this dagger thing. I was like, oh, that's a nice piece of machinery. I'm walking around with that. Like, I'm not walking around by myself, baby. You can't get it easy.
I know that's right. You ain't gonna get none of that Janet in control.
Rambo.
We up out of here, ladies, but it was definitely good having you back, everybody. I appreciate y'all for coming through. We'll be back for some more of this Raising Kanan this season. Everybody have a good weekend. Be safe. Deuces. And I'm out of here.